ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we were seeing the Lord describing about an advanced stage of realization. Even up to the point the Lord mentioned that one should not only perform his prescribed duties, one should worship the deities in the temple until one realizes the presence of the Lord in every living entity's heart. So actually, this is very important to understand. Prabhupada explained in the last purport, even for a person who is carrying out his prescribed duties, simply discharging duty is not enough. Even he should also worship the deities of the Lord. Because gradually, by worshipping the deity in the temple, one will realize the presence of the Lord in every living entity's heart. He will realize his relationship with the Supreme Lord, every living entity's relationship with the Supreme Lord, that everyone is situated as a servant of the Supreme Lord. So, that means, actually this is one of the very important symptom of a realized person, that he perceives the presence of the Lord everywhere. He perceives the presence of the Lord everywhere. Bhagavad Gita, if you see, when Krishna is describing the symptoms of a learned man, there Krishna points this out. Vidya vinaye sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni keva swapakecha pandita samadarshina. So this is one very important verse where Krishna describes who is called a Pandita Samadarshina. He has an equal vision towards every living entity in this material world. And then in another verse Krishna describes समसर्वेषु भूतेषु मद भक्ति लभते परा. There also Krishna says, Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. When one comes to the platform of Brahman, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, at that time, Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu, the symptom of coming to spiritual realized platform is his perception towards every living entity is spiritual perception, not material perception. He is able to see every living entity equally with spiritual vision. So there also we can see Krishna describes that as one of the very important symptoms of a person who is realized. Once there was one elderly man, Indian man, who came to Prabhupada, and he was asking some questions. So there Prabhupada criticized some of the people who were misguiding humanity in the name of religion. So after hearing that, this elderly gentleman asked Prabhupada, you should not criticize, you should see everyone equally. Bhagavad Gita says, Pandita Samadarshina, you should see everybody equally. So now we have to understand how to see every living entity equally. What does it mean? If somebody is, let us say, misguiding people, taking away people from God consciousness, cheating people in the name of religion. So should a sadhu, realized soul, see him equally and does not discriminate anything? You see. So we find all the great acharyas, including the great Goswamis, they all established real religious principles. Just like, and made people to understand the difference between religion and irreligion. Say for example, Rupa Goswami says that anyone who is performing even devotional service but without reference to authorized Vedic literatures, Pancharatrikim vidhim vina, ekantika harer bhakti utpateva kalpate, he is actually simply creating a disturbance in the society. So, is it meaning that Srila Rupa Goswami is criticizing and he should not criticize? Because he should be Pandita Samadarshina. Does not matter, you are creating your own philosophy, you are also equal, and those who have surrendered to the Lord, they are also equal. Should it be like that? Should it be understood in that way? What is the meaning of Pandita Samadarshina? How we have to understand? Then we find Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. he is saying that those who are atheistic, those who do not surrender unto him, the Lord cast them into different species of demoniac life, where practically they cannot even come out. So, does the Lord not see equally every living entity? He should be seeing when he is preaching Pandita Samadarshina, and the Lord himself is saying that yes, I don't discriminate between one living entity and another. And if somebody discriminates, he is a separatist. So does it mean when the Lord is casting away the demons in the demoniac species of life, he is discriminating, he is not equal? Isn't it? And himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam, I come to give protection, to deliver the sadhus, vinashaya cha dushkritam, and for demons, I slay them, I finish them off. So is it a differential treatment? Is it not seeing equally? Isn't it? So we have to understand it very finely, very properly. Suppose in a house, father has 2 children. For father, children are equal. There is no discrimination. For parents, there is no discrimination. But let us say one of them is very, very obedient, and because the parents are more experienced and they give good guidance to the children. So one of them, let us say, is obedient and he is advancing. So the father may patronize him more also. Very good, well done, very nice. And let us say another, he is going astray, even though the father is giving him good advice, good counsel, everything. But because every living entity is independent, so he may choose not to be obedient, not to take advice. So if the father is still equal to him, but treatment will be different. He is still equal to him. So to bring him to the right path, the father may even slap him. So to an outsider it may look like father is not equal to children. To one child he is patting very nicely, yes, well done. To another he is giving a slap. So treatment may be different, but vision of the father is still equal. That has to be understood. So there is no discrimination for the Lord. So when someone is surrendering to him, the Lord is reciprocating. And when somebody is not surrendering and going astray, the Lord is still reciprocating lovingly only. It is just like one has to understand this very important understanding. Let us say there is a grahastha, there is a married man, he has children. Suppose your neighbor's son is doing something wrong, even if you are seeing he is doing something wrong, you will not go and slap him. You are not concerned with him. Your own son, when he is going astray, you will slap him out of love. Isn't it? That is the meaning. So, Krishna's, when he is saying that I am equal and my devotees are also equal, they are still equal, yes. In the next shloka, the purport of that, Prabhupada gives an example, very beautiful example. And the Lord also says, even though one sees them equally, treatment will be different. For some people it is mana, for some people it is dana. Socially, there are people who are situated superior to us, and there are people who are situated lower than us. Mana is for superiors, dana is for inferiors. So that is as far as the living entities are concerned. So Krishna is always situated superior to us. Living entities sometimes, when he is fully Krishna conscious, is superior. But when he is covered by Maya, he is situated even inferiorly. Sometimes the same living entities may be situated as a dog. Then he deserves dana. You cannot go and embrace, thinking that this tiger is also a spirit soul, I should see equally. I am going and embracing another devotee. So similarly, I am seeing equally, let me go and embrace this tiger. No, he deserves different treatment. Vision is correct, that he is also spirit soul, but the treatment is different. He deserves dana. You should give him prasadam. That is what he deserves. Rather than going and embracing him or preaching him Krishna consciousness, he cannot understand. He is not situated in that consciousness. Isn't it? Similarly, somebody is envious. Being equal to him does not mean go and embrace him. Very nice, you are vilifying the Lord, you are vilifying the devotees of the Lord. No. Just like Hanuman, when somebody was against, envious of the Supreme Lord, he went and burnt the whole Lanka. He is still equal. It is not that he is not equal. So that is social discrimination. It is as prescribed by the Vedic literatures. Somebody is innocent, we should give him Krishna consciousness. He deserves mercy. Somebody is envious, better be away from him. Because the more you feed him, the more his venom will increase, the more he will increase his aparadh, his offenses to the Lord. So one should neglect such an envious person. You see, just like it is said, Bhujanga, if you give him paya, if you give him milk, kevala vishavardhanam. The more you feed a snake, more his poison will increase. It's like even today in the morning we were reading, one of the offenses is somebody who is not inclined, somebody who is offensive, and you go and preach to him the glories of the holy name. That is an offense. So you cannot say, I am equal to everyone. This person is envious, still I will go and preach to him the glories of the holy name. No, he does not deserve. He will not understand. He will become more offensive. See? So that discrimination is still required. And the devotee is still equal. It is not that he is not equal to every living entity. You see? So, on parimarthik level, devotee has an equal vision. On Vyavaharik level, the treatment Vyavahara may be different based on what the Vedic scriptures say. There also it is not that the devotee is deciding, it is based on what the scriptures are saying. If we start imitating an highly advanced devotee who actually feels, because that is his vision. It is, yes, it is like that. The most advanced devotee, he sees that even demons are engaged in the service of the Lord. I am not engaged. We cannot. You see, we cannot imitate that level. So, this has to be understood very, very properly. So, Prabhupada, he is taking an inferior position, and Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada replied. So, when he said, you should not criticize, you should see everyone equally. Bhagavad Gita says, Pandita Samadarshina. You should see everybody equally. Prabhupada replied, that is a higher stage. I am not at that stage. I distinguish. On the higher stage, you don't distinguish pious and impious activity. I distinguish. I say, you are doing sins. You should stop. And then discussion continued. And Prabhupada was saying, I have my Bhagavad Gita, I have my acharyas, and I stand on their authority. So this person, he took one more opportunity to again criticize Prabhupada. See, this person, he himself is talking about equal, one should treat equally, but he is himself criticizing Prabhupada. So he is saying, what have you done beyond that? You are just repeating what they have done. What have you done? So he is picking that point when Prabhupada is saying, I have my acharyas, I stand by their authority. So then Prabhupada replied, I have not done anything. I am simply repeating. My contribution is that I have made this knowledge available to people all over the world without discrimination. That is my contribution, and that is my version of Pandita Samadarshina. You see, this is real Samadarshina. Without discrimination. This is black, this is Indian, he is a foreigner, he is a Yavana. Prabhupada is saying, I have made this knowledge available to everyone. This is my vision of Pandita Samadarshina. Actually, this is the real vision. That people in this human form of life, they have got the opportunity, rarest of opportunity, what the Vedic literature says, that in this human form of life one can become self-realized. So, when a great Acharya sees, this is described even in Bhagavatam, how can a sane man, this is described like this, how can a sane man, when he is seeing that a person is going towards a pit and is going to fall down in that pit, how can a sane man not stop him? You see, he has to. So this is the meaning of Pandita Samadarshina. So wherever it is required that somebody is taking away people who deserve to be God conscious. This human life is so rare. And if somebody is cheating people in the name of religion and taking away this rare opportunity, they may not get this opportunity once again. Yes. So in order for people to discriminate and understand the reality, criticism is also required. You see, criticism is also required to make people understand what is good and what is bad, what is pious, what is impious, what is right path, what is wrong path. It is required. So this has to be understood properly, and actually we can see that this is the real meaning of Pandita Samadarshina, that Krishna consciousness gives opportunity to one and all without discrimination. This is the vision of a devotee, that everyone, especially all human beings, deserve this opportunity to become Krishna conscious. And that is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he requested everyone, specifically born in India, born in Bharatavarsha, Bharat Bhumi te janma hoilo yaar, janma sarthak kari karo paropkar. He should first of all make his life successful, and then he should work for the welfare of others. That is called paropkar. So that is very much required. So Krishna is saying in today's verse, Lord Kapila is explaining this, that anyone who discriminates based on the body outward dress, if his outlook to the different living entities is differential, different, then Krishna is saying, the Lord is saying, I cause great fear in his heart. That means one can never become fearless unless he has even the least discrimination in his heart. Unless he sees every living entity with spiritual vision, on spiritual platform as related to the Lord, and on that platform he sees the super soul seated in every living entity's heart. Until that platform, fear will always be there, because Dvitiya, till the point there is discrimination, matter and spirit, till that time there will always be fear. On spiritual platform there is oneness, there is no duality, everyone is a servant of the Lord. So unless one sees on spiritual platform, till that point materialism will be there and fear will be there. That is what the Lord is saying. So I'll just read out that. Lord Kapila is saying, as the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of differential outlook. Just because somebody is having different body, somebody is having this different body, if he makes it, just like this question when it was asked to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, the Vedic literature mentions that women are less intelligent. So how do we understand? So Prabhupada said that is only on material platform. When they come to spiritual platform, there is no such discrimination. Man, woman, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, there is no such discrimination. Everyone is a servant of the Lord. So we'll stop at this. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.